Ricardo. I am an ethical hacker, and we're going to talk about how to secure your accounts against malicious hackers and trolls. Uh, I have to mention that the opinions here are my own and not of my employer. Just side note. So who am I? I'm an ethical hacker. I have some certificates, mostly cloud certificates, but I have also the normal hacker ones, OSCP, CISP, Certified Ethical Hacker, and a couple of SANS ones. The real who am I? I'm originally from Mexico. I have been living in Europe for over 5 years now. We have a Mexican bakery. Well, my wife has a Mexican bakery in the south of Amsterdam. This is our baby. It's called Taco. I wrote 2 books in technology before moving to the Netherlands, and I have a couple of patent applications. And I have a blog called mexicanpentester.com. So if you ever need to contact me, it's r@mexicanpentester.com. So essentially, there are 2 types of hackers: the good hackers and the bad hackers. I work as an ethical hacker. So what I do is I try to increase the security of companies that hire me. So for example, a bank will hire me, and I will try to hack them, and then they will have to fix whatever I find. Essentially, it's like that. I work for banks, e-commerce. I work for smart cities. I work for anything that is connected, governments. But there's also obviously the bad hackers that will try to reduce the security. They will try to steal the data and blackmail people, etc., etc., etc. So essentially, I'm the good guy. I will hack the company and will tell them how to fix the stuff. And let's start the jump right in with phishing. Phishing is the main way or how the cyber criminal will try to hack you. Essentially, it will ask you for your password or information of any type. The reason here's we have all seen phishing emails. It seems to come from a legitimate institution, but of course it's not. And it's asking you to click on a link. Once you click on a link, it will just show you a normal website, and you will have to put your password or stuff like that, or download malware or something. This is very delicate because, as you can see in this image, the email is the center of everything. If I can compromise your email, then probably your PayPal, your bank account, your other emails, your Facebook, everything is connected there. So something that hackers really want to take over is your email. Here's an example of how to create a phishing email or a phishing link. This is all open source. Open source means that it's free and everybody can download it. And yeah, essentially it's literally just 4 lines of code. It's whatever you're saying there. The first thing is that I clone the code that it's online, that it's free. Everybody can do it. Then I move to the folder of the code, and then I execute the code. The code will ask me which type of phishing I want to. There are 32 default options: Apple ID, Google, GitHub, Messenger, Spotify, Netflix. Once I choose the option, in this case I'm choosing LinkedIn, it will generate automatically, without any amazing knowledge, a LinkedIn page, a clone of LinkedIn. And whenever somebody puts the email and the password in that link, the attacker will get it. It's as simple and as scary as that. Here I'm going to click on the link. I will show you. And as you can see, it's a proper LinkedIn account. Once I connect, you can see in the right how the attacker is receiving your IP address, your host name, your country, your everything that you know that I'm using Tele2 in the Netherlands, my mobile, everything. And once I put the obviously fake email and fake password, the attacker will receive it. It's as simple and as scary as that. So we have to be really, really, really careful with the phishing emails. This is the templates that come with that default tool, but of course you can do your own tools. And this is the information that you get. The IP address that I'm using: Mozilla, Firefox, where do I live, my company, yeah. So as you can see, whenever you connect, you get the little lock here. That means that it's that the connection is encrypted. If you put wrong your email address, the page will tell you the email is wrong. You can see the password and everything. It's amazing how easy it is to phish now. There are versions 2 point of the advanced version of phishing is whenever you receive something like this, or in your cell phone, for example, if you're using Android or iOS, you will say this app will like to access A, B, C, and D. It's just stuff that we have to check because it's exactly the same that phishing. Why a calculator in the cell phone will need access to your pictures or to send emails or stuff like that. And this one is one of Office that will ask for permissions to read all your emails, sign in your profile, read your contacts. Is why an application of Microsoft will want to do that. This is malicious, so we have to be very careful with this. So that's the first way of main way of hackers, how hackers hack. There's a second way. It's called password guessing. There are certain places where we can download list of passwords. The story is like that. The big sites get hacked, LinkedIn, Facebook or whatever, and the attackers will pull all the passwords, and then they will make lists with the passwords that are more common. Us as good hackers and also the bad hackers will pull that list and will try to those lists of known passwords there. Yeah. Another way of doing it is when we generate our list with the social media or website. So for example, I really like the car that is a Mustang and my dog is named Taco. A hacker will check or will download all the words that I'm using in social media, and then will try to attempt to use those words to do it. And so here is just again, it's an open source tool that will connect to a website and will download all the words. So I can connect to my LinkedIn and download, or in my Instagram and see that I like Mustangs. So they will try the password Mustang, for example. So here I'm saying connect to the website secura.com and pull all the words that are bigger than 5 letters. And after doing that, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I will obtain a list of words using that website. But I can do the same with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, because there's a lot of chances that your address, that your birthday, that your name of your girlfriend, wife, or whatever is there, and that's normally part of your password. So with all that list, we will try to hack you. And then after getting all that list of passwords, we have supercomputers. We call them Kraken because they crack passwords that have multiple GPUs. So yeah, multiple brains, let's say. This computer has 8 brains. So it will try to guess those words that were downloaded from your website with some variation. So for example, if the word Mustang was downloaded, I will try to capitalize the first letter, uppercase all letters, lowercase all letters, toggle. This is a list of rules that this computer will try to do. And we can normally try millions of passwords per second. It's just insane the amount of passwords that we can try. So for example, let's say that my password is Mustang123 exclamation mark. And the word Mustang was extracted from my Instagram. This tool will decipher that in seconds. I will tell you a story. I was working for a research facility in the Netherlands, and they gave us 7,000 accounts. We were able to crack around 30 or 40% in the first 6 minutes with this tool, because they were using very weak passwords, let's say it like that. So it's important to know what is a weak password. A weak password is any password that it's contained in a dictionary or is common and their variation. So for example, passwords with an @ it's a very common word and it's a very common password. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a very common password. If you put them together, they are still very common passwords. So even though the password is 12 characters long, it's really easy to hack. So how to do, Ricardo, how do I make strong passwords? The answer is with passphrase. Use a phrase that you like. Use the first sentence of your favorite song. Use the first sentence of your favorite book. Or just 2 or 3 random, totally random words. If you put 3 random words together like book, mango, taco17. That's a really good password because we will never be able to find 3 or 4 words in a row. So that's how you write a really good password. And the other thing that we do as a hackers, it's called password reusal. Once we know that you use one password, and there are tools like this, you can go to have I been pwned, for example, and you will see, I will show you. Have I been pwned? So in this site, we'll show you the passwords that are known that are used. So for example, my old email is this one, and I will ask the site, have I been hacked? And they will say, oh yes, you were hacked in 11 data breaches. So if you're using the same password that you were using in 2018, for example, the hackers know it. Or the same password in 2020 in March, the hackers know it. And we can buy, as ethical hackers, we can also buy these databases. So please don't use the same password everywhere. So don't reuse your passwords and make the passphrases. I think that it's clear by now that the passwords are not the solution. It's good to have really good passwords, but they're not the solution. What's the real solution? It's called two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is when you have different ways to tell the website or the application that you are trying to connect that you are the same person. So for example, a password is something that you know. You can put your fingerprint, that it's something that you are, and you can, authorize with your phone that it's something that you have. Essentially is that multi-factor authentication is something that you know, passwords, usernames, something that you have, phones, phone numbers, cards to access a place or something like that, and something that you are, biometrics in any way, your fingerprint, your eye, stuff like that. So the way to fix the lack of security in the passwords is by having two-factor authentication. There's an app that I use that it's called Auti, that it's amazing. So essentially, you enable multi-factor authentication in Facebook, in Google, in Gmail, or whatever you use. Just go to security, search for two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, and they will show you a QR code. A QR code is something like this. You will scan it with the app, and the app will show you 6 different numbers that will change every minute. Even if a hacker phishes you and you click on the link and you give him the password, or if you're using a very weak password and the hacker guesses it, or you are using the same password that you were using in the LinkedIn account that got hacked, the hacker will not be able to access that account if they don't have these 6 numbers. So how to fix, not everything, but how to fix most of the problems is by using two-factor authentication. So at the end, if you want to compete or you want to be against hackers, it's a probability game. Just don't be the easiest one to hack. Use strong passwords, unique passwords, not in the dictionaries, not that you use in anything related to your social media, not in your Instagram or anything. Long passwords, essentially passphrases, 2 or 3, 4 different words together. Store your password in a password manager, ideally, and enable two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication in key accounts, bank, social media, and email. That way you are going to be, in general, secure. And as you can see, the hackers will mostly try to hack what is easiest to hack. And of course, you need to keep everything updated. So if you have an intelligent fridge, update that. If you have your router updated, your laptop updated, everything updated, and secure managed passwords or authentication, and then you should be fine. And that's all. If you have any questions, you can contact me in my LinkedIn, Ricardo Sanchez Marchan, or r@mexicanpentester.com. Thank you very much.